otherwise,
Same thing.
then we would still have to go through a rezoning process that would take roughly 60 days, but that's not anything that would interfere with your work, because it would be the town that would be requesting the rezoning in the same way that the town requested the rezoning for the Crowville
I
property.
just, we've came as far, both of us, them and us, and I just hate 50 or 75 feet to be a deal breaker.
Well, along with that, would it be beneficial if you had some time to look at this and redraw a more squared off portion without compromising any of the need for extra land that you all need?
Definitely. I mean, I could tell you, if I spent time and did the design, I could get you exactly the minimum that we needed there. If it's 36 feet or whatever the minimum we needed there is. The problem is it's expense for my time to do that, but I'd be glad to do it. And then we'd have a design that would be fleshed out completely.
I think we also have the unknown about not really knowing.
That would be something that needs to be resolved, is what exactly is that wetland
Because
limit?
right now you're basing everything around this that we're not sure is accurate.
Could be, yes, that's right. Someone's,
Is there any type of paperwork on the wetland? I know we had,
We have had a
I
study.
have a thorough,
right, okay, so that,
it's
I'd review that, I'd love to review that.
But nobody's ever surveyed it for us.
not for us. We've had the environmental people go out and look at it, but they did not put down stakes.
But no state.
And as the mayor said, they told us the amount of acreage that was represented. But it makes me think, looking at this drawing, that somebody has created a buffer
Yeah.
around that area because they have a desire to.
Don't be deceived by the blue line on the color drawing. That's again, me doing something from an aerial photo.
Question, didn't somebody check into this, and there are 13 things you need to have to be a
There's
wetland?
criteria.
And we came up with
3.
There were 3 that existed? Does that mean it's a wetland?
It's still considered a wetlands, but it doesn't meet the criteria of having to have certain oversight and minimum requirements related to it.
So do we know what, I mean,
But it's not the degree of wetlands that we were told it was, is the best way
And
to
I think by the email we got on the wetlands, when DEQ, when they came in, if we build over it or fill it in or whatever, we got 25,000 to.
You cannot fill it in. It's got to be addressed in any site plan, but it in no way represents a problem for anyone developing the site. And as I said earlier, there are many developments, not necessarily here in the Highlands, but many developments where wetlands has become a very attractive feature to a development, as have detention facilities. They can be done in such a way that you never even think of it as a detention pond or facility because of the way it has been structured. So
There's actually a movement to make ponds more of a wetland to treat the water quality. Wetlands do a great job of treating the quality of the water. So.
okay, Matt, Steve, you guys set up a time frame for this? When you want to start doing this?
we're still on the same time frame we were when we started the process. Honestly, coming from me to you all, I think one of the biggest holdups that we have is our current facility, because we cannot get the members in that we need to get to operate and do the things that we want to do. We have ideas, they're there, but like Matt was saying, when I come down to do a 12-hour shift, it's hard because I don't have a shower. I have a bed, which is nice, but there's not too many people that's going to come down and spend 12 hours or 24 hours at a time when they don't have a shower. And I have heard that from a good bit of the people that we're trying to draw, because the way we're doing it, you sign up for a 12-hour shift, that's your 12-hour shift, it is volunteer, but that's your time to come out and answer. So we're pulling people. We have one gentleman that comes over from Roanoke, he does a 12-hour shift a week. We have another girl that she still works here, but she actually lives in Virginia Beach now. So she comes up, works her shift here, or works her actual work shift, then she'll work for us, and then she goes back to her other job.
And I want to compliment you all on the fact that you've gone to the shift kind of assignment, because that has made for a much better response and reliability on the part of the rescue
It's worked out
squad
great.
yeah, than the way it was several years ago. But by doing that, you've improved response time, but you've also created, artificially some limitations for your people, because then they do have to have a place to sleep or change or do other kinds of things.
So, in my mind, getting this set up will make Matt and I's job, I don't know if easier is the right word, but that will allow us to, develop more things down the road that we want to do instead of sitting stagnant. That's probably my biggest frustration is we have the ideas. It's just getting to the point where we can come up with these ideas. So do we have a time frame set in stone where this needs to happen? Absolutely not. But, this is, in my mind, one of the holdups that we have to doing a lot.
But you don't want these 15 years to pass in this time.
No, I mean, we've got a,
And you do have
we've
the
got a
money,
6-month build time,
yeah, and you do have the money to do the project once
Yes.
it's approved.
unless you want to give us some more, or give us some.
So what right now, what is our stumbling block? This few foot of footage, or what you're going to try to tell us, come back and tell us, or something that what you guys can live with? Because I think, to me, what thing I heard of you guys, you're building this to center everything you do in this county right here.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to go out to Homer's or any place else to work. You want to center it right here.
Correct.
What we propose, does that eliminate that?
Some, yes.
Okay, but I don't want to eliminate any of it.
Not 100%, but it's gonna put a little bit of a hindrance.
Okay, well, my thoughts are, you guys came here, you want to do this here, you want to grow your business. You've talked about 50 years from now expanding it, that you could probably do it on the hardtop you have now, right? So I think, I want you guys to tell us, this is what we need right here. We can do everything we want to do right now. That's my interpretation anyway.
Right.
I don't want you to build something that you're not going to be happy with 5 years from now, because you have a different viewpoint on it.
Well, I mean, I don't speak for him, but I'm happy with the new building. I mean, that's my 100% goal for the rescue squad, is for us to have a new facility. But I would love to have that. We would have to sit down as a committee and talk about what we're willing to give up by getting that building, because we're not going to get it on Commercial Street.
And my thoughts too, and if I interpret it wrong, but this is what I thought we'd come back to do after we were here for the first work session, and the different conversations that we've had was, go back and bring us back something where we think it's the bare minimum, or close to that bare minimum. And, looking at our future thoughts, looking at what we want in the building, I mean, this is bare bones from where we first started at. And
I
know
just
there's
wouldn't
other
settle
thoughts.
with bare minimum. I think you all want to grow. You have really good ideas. You have ideas to set this apart, your squad apart from, there's no one close that could do the things that you have in your mind. And they're needed. So, I mean, you want to stick to bare minimums, that's fine, but I appreciate the fact that you've thought beyond the bare minimum.
And my thought, and I won't speak for Matt, but this is not extravagant area-wise in my mind. This will give us room for ideas. It will give us room to grow. But there again, we won't be in an area where I feel like we're going to be confined. It's not the extravagant 3 acres that it was at first, where you have a building sitting crossways in the middle of it, taking up a whole bunch of land with a whole bunch of shrubs. The building is squared up with the road. We have an entrance in. We have parking spaces, but, the road's going around the building, so you won't have any parking on that. It's going to be wide enough to, get the ambulance back around, different ways, get the trailers around. So, it's
You've cut it to 1.738 acres.
Right.
So you've already,
essentially from the 3 acre, or wherever it was
From the
when we started.
3.3 to
yeah.
1.738. That's,
And with that still gives you the space to grow
yes, ma'am.
and to train. I think that training is very important to have it on site.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't want you guys to give up the training either.
I don't want to.
Because you guys talked about it, that was very important to you, not to travel around the county. So what you want the county to do is to come to you to train. Share everybody else to come here and train, so that you go on somewhere else. And I think that if that's important to you guys, don't give it up. Don't give it up. You got to figure out what you want, I wouldn't take what you least you can have. Take what you can live with.
Right. Well, what's on the paper is what I want.
I feel like with the plans that we have,
Yes.
the plat,
Yes.
yeah. back over to that. The plat gives us the room to grow. What we have surveyed is what we have put the money into as to what we thought was, not bare, but enough to give us the room to grow on down the road. Now, if we start, cutting back up from that, who knows what it's going to do. But it's just, in my mind, it takes away those opportunities little by little the more we shrink it up.
But if you had the same square footage in a different kind of configuration, you wouldn't be giving up anything.
Correct.
So, I mean, there is an either or, kind of a happy compromise, depending on if it would work or not.
Dave, I haven't heard the way you feel.
I've just been listening.
What were you proposing as compensation for the acreage?
A couple of us have some different opinions on compensation. A lot of people, a lot of squad members, a lot of community members, a lot of past members think it should be donated for what we have done, for 72, almost 73 years, for what we have done for the community. Granted, not all those have been 73 years of honest dedication, but a lot of people are on the line of a donation. I would say myself and Stephen have talked 12 to 15,000 if we were to go that route.
Are you in a position to say how that compares to what you were proposing to pay had you purchased the Ingalls location, which granted was more acreage?
Right.
But how it would
The
compare?
Ingalls Street property was, when we had spoke to it, it was 40,000 for 3.3 acres. I know when I looked at GIS, which isn't, 100% accurate, there's 13 acres out there, correct? Is it 13 acres?
Yeah.
Okay. It was assessed at 196,000, which 13 acres at 196,000 is 15,000 an acre.
Now, was that before the road was put in or after?
Whatever GIS has. I don't know that the road is in
The road
GIS,
has
but
increased the value of that property.
I don't think the road's in there yet, but
no, it probably isn't. But there again, for what we've done and what we continue to do for this community, I don't feel even a full price offer of whatever that acreage is, is assessed at per acre. I don't know that we should have to pay a full price, asking price if y'all were going to sell it, per acre or whatnot. Now, if a donation is completely out of the question, I think we would stick at 15.
Well, I personally don't have any problem with that. I don't know how the rest of the council feels.
I'm sorry, Carl, I didn't hear you. What you said?
I said, I personally have no problem with that. That price. We're talking with a little over, if we go with the plat that you all have now, rather than squaring it out,
Yes, sir.
you'll end up with 1.738 acres.
Correct.
15,000.
15,000, figure out to about $8,500 an acre.
Yes.
That'd be where you think. I think that'd be a pretty good value for you people.
Would your members be all right with that?
Yes, we've already discussed that in an open meeting.
I think the council just needs to, and I'm not speaking for or against it, be aware of the fact that if you decide on a value that's less than, as Matt is saying, is the fair market value, that difference somehow be interpreted to the community and to others as a gift or donation, because I don't want that to necessarily set the price for future land sales, and that's not unusual.
No, I agree with that.
In dealing with developers to have a price and then have so much as a donation, so that it's seen as having a higher value than maybe what is actually the cash that is produced.
And anybody else that's had 70 years of service that they've had, they
Right,
can come and ask for the same
You
donation.
don't have a business that's gonna come in here that has done for the community that we've done.
No, I'm just saying that the council needs to be able to describe that lower amount by saying that there's some form of a donation with it, so
So-
that we get a higher value.
We get the 15,000 for the acre, and then we donate the 738.
Well, it's whatever the council wants to do. I'm just trying to point out that it's going to be
Well, you'd
important
have
for
to put
future
the dollar
sales.
amount on it.
Yeah, but
That's what
that
it
could
amounts
very
to.
well fit into what your price structure is.
It would be 78% of whatever, 15,000.
Matt, did I see you smile?
That'd probably be
Did I see you
six.
smile?
Let's take a picture of that.
Are you guys moving forward, do you need a formal written offer from them saying we would propose to purchase this piece of land for, take his dollar amount, double it, and if he makes that offer to pay $30,000 for this piece of land, you as a council could say, we will match half of that, we'll give you 15 and you give us 15. In effect, he would be buying the land for 15,000, but on paper, the offer would have been for 30. Something like that.
Well, there will need to be a public hearing, not just for the rezoning,
But in
a
order
public
to,
hearing for the sale of the property. So the amount that you are purchasing it for will have to be advertised, as well as the fact that it's the rescue squad that's, asking for it at that value. So it's really, I'm really more concerned about setting the value for future sales than I am for this particular one, and that's why there has to be an explanation of some sort. But I don't know that it means that there has to be, at least from my standpoint, has to be a higher value that then somehow is written off. I think it just could be understood, and the council could say, because of the 70 years of service, we're accepting a value that is roughly half.
Lesser to
Yeah.
the value of the property.
Right.
I like Gail's. We'll sell you an acre and then donate the other. And to me, it sounds better, and it would sound better in the community.
Yeah,
And it shows
and essentially you're keeping the price
the same.
the way we want it to be.
That's my only concern, future sales.
Right, I agree with that.
So I guess the question is, we've discussed, now we have to figure out how we tell the public this, but the next thing
Actually,
is.
if y'all want to know the only number, it would be $11,700 would be the contribution.
if we buy an acre for 15 and you
If-
donate 11.
Donate the
If you agree to purchase the property at $15,000 an acre,
Right.
then it would be, actually, the total cost for that 1.76 or 78 rather, would be $26,700 for the amount.
It is,
So you pay 15, the town of Clifton Forge would be bequeathing a gift to you folks of $11,700 of the purchase price as a gift.
is the council comfortable with setting a precedent of 15,000 an acre? Is there a number that you guys would like to have moving forward with your future lots? I'm sure somewhere in your grant proposals, there'd be a number floating around out there. but-
Well, we were using that,
Appraisal at this time?
we were using it, I don't know what a new appraisal would be on it right now.
Well,
That's what.
Since the road is in, I still say that
Need to know.
raises the
The,
value considerably of the
The
property.
proposal by Kroger was to purchase 2 acres for $25,000, and that amount of $12,500 an acre was based upon the fact that they were making an almost $2 million investment into the property that was in fact then going to be taxable. And so how you look at the price is sometimes determined by what is going to be the long-term
Yeah.
benefit. As has been described previously, the rescue squad is not going to pay taxes. So how that one is looked at is a little bit differently than if somebody's coming in with a significant investment. If somebody's just buying a piece of land and not putting much value into it, then you certainly wouldn't give those incentives, by having a reduced value for the property. But each one has to really be looked at individually, but at 15,000 an acre, that's roughly, $2,500 more than what we were giving as the benefit to Kroger.
So it's comfortable to you to be at 15,000 an acre?
Again, that's up to the council. I don't need to
Comfortable with the
vote.
council, okay.
Well, Carl said he's comfortable, I'm comfortable with it.
Well, like I say, I have no problem with 15,000. I think probably that's about where we're gonna stand. Will be an asking price for whatever property is probably sold after. Maybe there might be a real bargain if someone wants to take the wetlands into that area.
Well, or if they generate a tremendous amount of tax revenue or something,
Yeah.
then yes.
Or if there, a lot of communities will give incentives based upon the number of jobs,
Yeah.
because that represents revenue, to the community generally as well, so.
All right, so we're looking, just so I can have a vantage point, we're in agreements on the 1.738 acres for 15,000.
And it's a work session, so that you can't make a commitment.
I understand that, but that's,
But you want our opinions.
That's ideas.
right, that's what I want in case I get any questions.
Well, I think the better way to say it would be that 1.7 with the rescue squad paying $15,000 per acre, or for the first acre, with the understanding that the council is willing to make a donation.
Right.
The value of the
When I
difference.
say it as price per acre is set at $15,000.
Right.
And what happens after that as far as the town making a,
But they need to make an offer to you in the request, because that's what we have to then advertise.
Right.
okay.
I only have one question. I know I have a question.
Thought you said you did.
You said that
Ah,
before. You lied.
It's too late. I missed the start of what I wanted to watch anyway.
So that,
When this is done in 1 acre, what part of this, how much of this are they gonna get?
All of it.
all of it.
All that's
The
in
whole
the
thing, all the way
By
to the end?
this, not by this.
Okay.
It'll be on that the new plat that's drawn up there with the inset.
And that's
Wherever the one that Stephen passed out for.
Okay, that's, you guys are good with that?
Yes.
Okay, good enough. I'm done.
So you won't get my
I'm done.
square.
Yeah, I was worried when you said earlier, take what you want. I thought, well, he's gonna give away everything.
No, I don't
Take
give
what
a-
I want, I want 13. No, actually, I don't want 13 acres.
You actually, you do that to catch them off guard before you,
Is that what it is?
like Grandpa used to say. Lull them into sleep, they'll vote before they fall asleep. All right, so, are you guys happy with that?
Yes, sir.
So do we need to discuss it anymore?
No, I would suggest that you actually put something in writing as an offer. The council can officially react to, and then we will set a public hearing
Okay.
on that, and probably simultaneously start the hearing process for the rezoning.
Okay.
And I'll take care of that.
You'll do that paperwork?
And everybody at this table is in agreement with this right now?
Yes.
And I just want to thank you for pursuing this and keeping
We greatly appreciate
your
it.
options open, because that was a very tough vote. I thought, okay, now if I fall over tomorrow, they're going to come and get me. But
It was,
you did your homework.
it was a lot of heartache, I can promise you that.
Yeah, it was very tough. But hopefully this will be the better.
I agree.
Anyway, sometimes second choice turns out to be the better option anyway.
Yep.
What are you gonna do with the other one?
So,
How many, what do you have around it that you own? Just the building or their lots?
A lot.
we own the two lots,
For the two
we own the
houses.
two lots that are up, that where the two houses used to be.
Heading north.
We own those two, the brick building and the other building, but there's some speculation as to exactly where the property line is on the lower part
I
of the
think
property.
speculation when it comes to surveys in this town is absolutely
Oh, I agree.
always true.
I agree. So
So you do know once you move out here and you still own that, you gotta pay taxes on that, right?
we don't pay
You
taxes.
don't pay that.
I know, but on that land that they're not existing on, who knows?
No.
As long as they claim ownership, they won't have to pay any tax.
But whoever buys it will be rare.
Yeah, we hope.
I have been contacted a couple times about that property already, so hopefully it will
Anybody
be
you'd
well.
like to share?
No, because I don't even know.
Okay. Good.
I mean, I just had a realtor contact me and said, when you go to sell it, I want to know.
Well, let me tell you what I appreciate. When I deal with the things with the schools and anything else, and I talk to people like from Dunlap and anything else, every time there's a conversation about rescue squads or what's going on, you guys are part of the conversation. That's good for Clifton Forge. That's good for us old people that make sure that you get there on time. I want people there 24 hours a
Yeah.
day. So you get me to the hospital before I die.
Volunteerism is a dying breed, and luckily we've had the people to maintain what we've got.
Yeah.
We're very, very
I
fortunate.
think we're fortunate that you came from here, went and came back.
That's,
This one has-
that was not correct.
Okay, we got a copy for you.
Which one?
This one.
They're not talking to you, the table, they're talking.
No, I was talking to Jerry.
Good? All right.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What a pleasure.
Thank you for taking the time.
So what,
Fighting for
I guess I'll call you tomorrow and just kind of figure out what the letter needs to say. And then we'll go from there and I'll get you one.
Okay.
Okay? Thank y'all.
Thank you all.
Thank you all, gentlemen, for